Hello, Elizabeth.
Hello, Prof.
How are you?
I'm good.
Good. Show your beautiful face in the place. If I gotta show mine, you gotta show yours.
Oh, you can see me?
I can't see you.
Oh.
There should be a button down at the bottom menu that says show
Record.
video. Show video.
Start video. Let me see.
Or start video or something like that. One of the two.
Oh.
Miss West has video. Oh my goodness. I can't believe it.
Oh.
Hello, Miss West. How are you?
Hi, Professor Golden. Thank goodness my camera works this week.
I know.
I'm telling you, I don't know what was going on with that, but I'm so glad.
Okay.
Glad. How you been? How's everybody?
I've been busy. I'm trying to close out this semester and another semester so I can finally take a vacation.
Okay, I know what you mean.
Yeah. Have you had one?
Yeah, I'm on the way to Tampa as we speak next week.
Okay.
With my dad's grandparents, so I'm just going to hang out with them. Yeah.
Okay.
Because I haven't been out of the DC area since 2019.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Gotta go see the grand folks, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. I know they're gonna take care of their baby.
I know they are. Mm-hmm.
You say,
Yep.
All right. Well, that's good. That's good.
Oh
Elizabeth is trying to resolve her camera issues.
See, I don't know what it is. I think it's the network sometimes. And, I don't know. I don't know. It's weird.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll give a couple minutes here and then we're going to get started because I don't want to hold everybody too long.
Okay.
Yeah. And we go from there.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so I'm pretty sure you all saw my email the other day. And sometimes I think, and I'm speaking in general here, students don't understand what we try to do to help them.
Yeah.
And the sacrifice that we make to lay things out and make it in plain English and all of that good stuff to try to help and prepare. This is our job to help and prepare you for whatever it is that you want to do. And sometimes some students make it hard. I'm not gonna lie. Make it hard. Because you say to yourself, okay, you just lay everything out and they don't do it.
I know it's rough. It's rough. I'm like, I don't care what it takes, just turn it in. Like,
But the thing of it is points matter. You don't want to leave points on the table because of whatever reason there is.
Yeah, that's true.
GPAs matter. Things of that stuff, they matter. You know, some folks will
Yeah.
want to go to grad school, some folks want to do other things, and these things
Mhm.
matter, you know.
Definitely agree
And
with that, because yeah.
yeah, and you know, I post the videos in the student lounge. I post the
Mm-hmm.
announcement. You know, you know, it's like, what else can you do? And I can understand those students that are deployed and this and that. I don't have to do these virtual sessions. You know,
Right.
this can
Yeah,
just
that's
be a thing
true.
where I just post documents and you swim on your own.
Yeah, because that's what makes it harder too. You got to really structure yourself to, like, when you got to really motivate yourself to do that, because you don't have anybody talking to you. Because when you do have somebody telling you, have a little bit more motivation, a little bit more get up,
That's
to look
kind of what I
forward.
think of. Not only that, but you get an opportunity
Mm-hmm.
to ask a question, get a question and things of that nature. You know what I mean? And all of
Yeah.
that stuff. Yeah, you
Yeah,
know.
I know. I had to learn the hard way when I was doing, when I started school. It was hard for me because I had to get used to going back to school, and I'm almost 35 years old. So it was trying to figure out get my legs, back into school. Cause I'm like, I know I don't have long to graduate, but it's been a while since I've been. So you have to get yourself conditioned, but you have to you got to be able to, and you got to want to condition yourself, even though it's tough, but take the steps and make the change for that too as well. If you want to move forward, you're like,
Right,
I'm tired of this, but you got to sacrifice a little bit too, so it's like you got to sacrifice somewhere. It's
right.
hard. I mean, we all probably work a million jobs, take care of kids. I don't have kids and all that stuff, but we probably all work. I just worked I worked my job last night. I had to come home, do homework today to turn in before tonight. So, and I still got other stuff to do for homework and things like that. But you got to do, if you want it and you want to make a change and you say you're tired, it's up to you, so
Yeah. I teach at 3 universities and I run a business.
that's what I'm saying. So it's like, what's the
Wow.
excuse,
So I have to bring it every time. I have to bring it.
Yeah.
You know, and
Yeah.
then and this is at
Yeah.
later on in the evening, it's like, okay, well, I've had
I
dinner,
know, I get it.
but I
Mm-hmm.
owe it to you all to, do the best I can to help you get to that next level.
Exactly.
And these communication skills, they're no joke. They're very, very important. And the thing about it was, I guess what prompted me to send that note was, this is what we just completed was the easiest presentation assignment.
Yeah.
It was the easiest one.
Yeah, that was an easy one, even though it's hard to kind of nail underneath the minute, but it's still kind of difficult, and it's like, it's hard because you're trying to still understand it, but just try to get it in there and do it. You know what I'm saying? That's how I look at things. Like, just try to do the best you can and just do it, and that's how I feel about that too.
And I provided a script.
I know. And I kept thinking about that. And I said, oh my gosh, my grandmother said, do you got to figure out how to do? I said, nope. Our professor, he already has everything laid out. Really, everything is laid out for each week, though, for us. If you think about it, it's the same redo. It's the same one. It's the original script, and it's a redo. It was just to redo it again and be more confident. And, so it's like,
But
and then this week, it's the same.
do it again per my suggestions that,
Right.
if you didn't do
Yeah.
something, then the redo, do you do that?
I get it.
And so you say to yourself, my goodness, what the heck?
Yeah,
What is
that's how I
he?
feel.
What is it? I mean, and the thing, I'm respectful because we all are adults here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm a UMGC grad, so I understand
Right.
the balls and everything you got to deal with and all of that stuff. I can recall driving home at night from studying after working all day and falling asleep at the traffic light and all of that stuff.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
But you gotta keep your head in the game and gotta handle your business.
Yeah, that's what my mom says too. If you can go out, you can go work. My mom's like, no matter how many jobs or whatever you do, she's like, you can go out here and go to brunch on Sundays and Saturdays and hang out, and you can't get back to doing a little bit of you can't do none of your educational stuff. Then I mean, you really don't want to move forward in life, because clearly you're gonna keep working a job, and that's you gonna keep complaining about it. But you can't. You got to be able to balance all those things at the same. That's how I look at it too. You know,
It's
you gotta say.
responsibility.
I mean,
It's responsibility.
yeah, that's what it is. I'm like, I don't feel like doing this, but I got to because I get tired of working with these people that I work with at work all the time. So that makes you want to just push yourself to be like, oh, you know what? I don't care if I want to go out tonight and go to dinner. We got to make sure we got to get this homework done. Cause I know I went to work. I work part-time on the weekends only. And I said, oh, I went to work from like, I think 9:30 to 3:30. I took a nap to 5:30, came in the house, took a shower, took an hour and a half nap. I said, oh, I have to, if I want to go to Old Ebbitt tonight for for Oyster Happy Hour at 11:30, we got to get this done. They really do. And I'm like, you got to get this homework done before you even go out and do something. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, that's how it's supposed to be, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I feel your pain though. I tell you.
Yeah. I just, because I'm kind of old school, I'm the kind of guy, no excuses, suck it up, get it done. Just get it done. You sign it,
exactly.
That's your responsibility. Get it.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. I get it. I feel the same way.
My mindset, and I guess my expectations when I don't see that, because I'm like, okay, well, I know some of these folks, I don't know whose money they're spending. Someone probably spending corporate money, someone probably spending Uncle Sam's money.
Military as well, same thing. It's all the same,
stuff, and I'm like, man, how do you botch this, man? But anyway.
I don't understand. I know. Sometimes you got to get it off your chest though,
Well, I'm only saying it out because I care, because I say, my God, these are the easy ones. What happens tonight? What am I going to see tonight when the informative presentations are provided?
Yeah.
They're due tonight.
Yeah, I know. And some of us out here, because we're still working on our stuff still. Right. Yeah.
What's going to happen when the 6 to 8 minute persuasive talk that I'm about to talk about this evening, when that comes due, what's going to happen? Are we going to keep making the same mistakes?
Yeah.
Because you make the same mistakes, I'm just going to keep applying the same,
well, it's going to be the same feedback or,
deductions.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then some of these things, they're like technical stuff. I mean, copying and pasting a file. I even provided a video, how-to video. And I'm like, what more do I need to do?
But it's not that hard to copy and paste the video, because you don't even have to do that. Well, and I was thinking to myself, but that's what I'm saying. It's really not that difficult though, because I don't understand how hard it is, because you send that, if the file is too, I learned this though too. The way you put it in for us to like do it for Vimeo or whatever, you got different options for us to do it different ways. But I did have to come up with another option myself last week, because my phone is running off of no storage. So I had to send it to my email through Gmail, because I couldn't upload it as an attachment, and I had to move it over and send it to and then I had to take the file and move it to YouTube and be able to do it that way. So, you just got to do what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? Done. You got to do what you got to do.
Get it done.
That's it. Yeah. You got to do what you got to do. So.
All right.
I know. Elizabeth, like, what the heck? Like, but it's what it is. So.
I just don't get it. Don't get it. The thing about it is, like I said, almost every class I have a student or two that's deployed. Okay.
Yeah.
I understand that. That's why I make the video available, so that they can circle back and listen to it.
Exactly.
The other folks, they choose not to, and then they just go and do something, and then then I slam them. Then it's like, okay, here we go. So posting everywhere. Just because you post in the discussion does not mean you do not post your link.
Your link, yeah, because that's what makes a big difference. Yeah, because that's a big chunk of the grade right there.
Well, if you don't do that, that's like you're not That's like it's not there. If there's no
Yeah, because it's
there,
not, but that's true though, because if you get 100 on your discussion and you ain't push your YouTube, you get a 0. So you're already failing in the class already if you divide it into
and
2,
that's just
you
a
know, so
technicality. That's a technicality.
exactly.
That's in writing, and
Yep,
say that during the video.
it
Post it
is.
in the assignment area.
Mm-hmm.
In the assignment.
Assignments. But I'm like, who's posting the discussions though? That don't even make
Well, that's
sense.
fine, but still post it in the assignment area. All of this stuff is
Yeah.
kind of like supposed to be practice. You do it in the discussion, and that's your
Mhm.
practice on how to do it in the assignment area.
I mean, exactly. That's correct. That's true. Yeah.
Anyway, enough of my ranting and raving. Elizabeth, I bet you're thinking like, what the heck, right?
Yep. Yeah.
This like Professor Golden
I'm
But she's
listening.
like here in the
I've been
background,
having-
like Elizabeth, like, what the heck?
Professor Golden and Miss West just did a takeover.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
I've been
Shoot.
having a hard time posting my assignment too, my videos, but actually I just got a breakthrough last week. Yeah. So I did the first recording for since how many weeks now?
Yep.
And I tried to post it at first, it disappeared from YouTube. And then I tried again last week. And well, hopefully I'll learn something more.
Well, and not only that, but students can call me within, 9 to 6 during the weekday.
Okay.
They can do an individual virtual session. I got that available. I'm like, it's all there. So that's why my conscience is clear.
Right.
My conscience is clear because I'm sure, I'm not going to say that, but I'll say it like, I'm sure that you all have had classes where you have no communication.
Yes, I have a geography class that I have no communication.
Well, I didn't want to call anybody out, but
right. With no communication, we have no communication.
None.
So we got to everybody, but I tell you what, everybody know that you wasn't posting anything, you were getting a 0. So it's like when you started getting it, I ain't got time to be wasting my money and doing that stuff. You know,
like, how did this happen?
Exactly.
Yes. Okay.
Yep.
Let's get this thing moving here then, and that way I can free you up so that you can go on and finish posting your informative assignment.
Yeah. Because the template is there for everybody to do it anyways. It's right there. I mean, whatever. But anyways, go on ahead, Professor Golden. I'm just saying.
I tell you, sometimes it makes me want to mix something else in this drink.
Okay.
Just saying, Elizabeth. I'm just saying.
Right.
It's okay.
Okay, here we go. All right, so your next major assignment after this one will be your persuasive presentation. Okay, and persuasive presentations are very important. And if you think about it, in our everyday conversation, everyday life, we're always persuading somebody, to see a point our way. And I don't care if it's work related, political, or whatever. We're always working to persuade someone. Now, you're only as strong as your argument. And what do I mean when I say your argument? Your argument should always be based on facts. Okay. It's nice to have an opinion, which we all do have, but that doesn't really carry any water, to be honest with you. So, talking about the persuasive presentation, this diagram that I'm sharing with you, can everyone see it?
Is it coming up soon?
You don't see it?
I just see it says Jim Golden has started screen share. Wait a minute. Let me see.
Yeah.
Okay, wait a minute.
I'm screen sharing right now.
Okay, I see. Wait a minute. Is the leader the 2020 Gartner Magic Quadrant for Meeting Solutions? Is that it?
It says Monroe's motivated sequence.
What is that? The quadrant? What is this? Magic quadrant and meeting solutions?
Let me minimize that and let me put it, I'll put it back up for you, okay?
Okay.
Just a second. Let's see here. Let's see. Let's see. I never had a problem showing this thing. Hold on a second.
Okay.
Okay. Let's see. Just a second. All right, I'm going to try to share the screen again and see if you can see it now.
Okay.
Can you see this now?
Yes. Yes.
You can see it, Elizabeth?
Yes.
Okay. Tay, can you see it?
Okay, there it is. Okay.
Okay, great. Okay.
Yeah.
Woo. All right.
Here we go.
This image here, Monroe's motivated sequence, is a it's been around for a minute, since the 1930s, by a person by the name of Alan Monroe. And he crafted this as a simple solution to aid one in developing a persuasive presentation. Okay, so first you have your hook, and that's going to be your opening. Okay, how you're going to open. And you've heard me talk about it before. Open with a story, open with a quote, open with a question, open with a stat, open with a fact, open with a line of humor. Okay, that is your hook. And this is how you outline and plan your talk. Then you have what's the challenge or the problem. Okay, whatever the challenge or the problem is. And then you have a solution. Okay, and then the future or visualization. In other words, if you implement the solution, this is what will happen. And I'll use the current COVID situation as an example. So we got the challenge or the problem, which is COVID. Okay, then you have the possible solution. For the most part, it's the vaccine. It's also vaxxing up. I mean, the vaccine and also masking up. That's what I meant. And if we do this in a big enough way, the future of visualization can be herd immunity.
Yep.
Okay? And a consistent life that can be somewhat back to normal or a new normal, if you will. All right. Then you have the call to action. And that is where you're direct about this thing, telling people, hey, mask up. Hey, get vaxxed. You know what I mean? Hey, social distancing, whatever. And that's kind of what this looked like. Now, with any persuasive presentation, you have an argument and you have a counter argument. Okay. And you have to speak to both of those. So as you know, for everyone who believes that COVID is a thing, there are people who don't believe it's a thing at all. They don't believe it's real. Okay. And you have to speak to that. Now, also, too, just like with your informative talk, I hope you do this in your persuasive talk, you have to orally cite your sources. This is what gives any presentation relevancy. So, using the COVID thing, according to the CDC, they say that you should get vaccinated. Okay. According to the CDC, you should continue to mask up. According to the CDC, hand sanitizer, or wash your hands or whatever, So in other words, you're citing a source to support your argument. All right. Any comments or questions on that? What I just shared with you. Okay. Now, again, and this can kind of be like your outline almost. Now, this document and some other documents, they're going to show up after midnight in the new announcement. Okay. So never fear. What you see here will be available.
Okay.
Right. Now I want to talk to you about something else. This is called the what they call the rhetorical triangle.
Okay.
Can you see that?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, in all communications, this rhetorical triangle has three main areas, and this was created by Aristotle almost over 2,000 years ago. Ethos, pathos, and logos. And what you need to understand about these three things, and this is really speech 101, really. The ethos is about you, the speaker. And what you should think about yourself as a speaker is what makes you credible to talk about the topic that you're going to persuade us on. Okay, so let's go back to the COVID situation. What makes me credible to talk about COVID? Okay, well, maybe I'm a physician. Maybe I work in a laboratory or whatever. Maybe I'm a doctor in that area. What makes you credible to talk about that? Maybe I know a lot of people who've had it and unfortunately passed away because of it. What makes you credible? This is the credibility of the speaker. Okay, and this is established through a variety of factors, as the note says: status, awareness, professionalism, celebrity endorsement, research, and so forth. Okay. The next area of your presentation that you want to focus on is the audience that you're presenting to. And this involves the emotion part, the pathos, okay? Greek term for emotion. What do you want us to feel? Anger, joy, sorrow, motivation, inspiration, or what have you? Perfect example. Has any of you seen those cigarette commercials, when people talk about the effects of cigarettes and it shows them on ventilator machines or things of that nature or whatever? That is a perfect example of pathos because it invokes an emotion. You know what I mean? It's a commercial that invokes an emotion. So you think about how you want to reach your audience. I mean, you could be talking about something, adopting a pet or whatever. I'm sure we all have seen those commercials where pets have been abandoned, and they showed the Humane Society or PETA, adopting, rescuing them and adopting them and things of that nature. Those are things to pull people in. That's a strong persuasive argument. Okay. Then you talk about the logos. And this is the Greek term for logic, okay? And this is where you think about providing what evidence are you gonna have to support your argument. You gotta do some research. So I don't care if it's COVID, I don't care if it's climate change, I don't care if it's the reason for adopting a pet or whatever. What does the science, what do the stats say? What do they say? I'm making this number up, what are there like 100,000 pets that need adoption that has been abandoned or abused or whatever, according to the Humane Society? That's what gives you teeth. Hopefully that kind of sort of makes some sense to you. Comments or questions? Now, this talk of yours will be 6 to 8 minutes, okay? Yeah, so it's gonna be a little long. That's why I was, really tripping over this 1 to 2 minute elevator pitch. I'm like, my God, if folks can't do the 1 to 2 minute elevator pitch, how in the heck are they gonna do a 6 or 8 minute persuasive talk? You know what I mean?
How hard is it to do? We got the script in front of us. And you gotta read it believable. You know what I mean? Like it's right there.
And a personal elevator pitch is always a good thing to have because as you move on in your careers, you want to have a strategy on how to introduce yourself to somebody. See, a lot of people don't want to
I definitely like that. Like, I definitely agree with you on that one because I had an interview last week with the federal government for the VA, and I used what I learned in this class to apply to how I answer questions. On my interview, and I had to sit on the board with 3 people, I mean, it was like a director, HR director. Then there was another lady. She was like the manager. And I was like, I've never been on an interview with 3 people before, you know? But I mean, 3 people interviewing me. So I had to think about, I was like, I had to calm down, think about what I was saying. And I was like, let me go ahead and rewind it, think back, and try to answer this, you know, the best way that I can and not be nervous. So I use some of that.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes me feel good. So how did you, how you think you did?
It was good. I'm still considered as a candidate. So
okay. Right.
I was just surprised to be on an interview with 3 people. I was like a 3, you know, management. So I've never been on a you know, even if I wasn't even going on an interview with, you know, in person, I've never been on an interview with 3 people, you know, the director and all that stuff, or the board. And that was just different for me. Okay. So I know how to bring my A game. Okay.
There you go.
I'm trying to cross my fingers. That's it. So.
All right. Hey, sometimes it don't hurt to cross your fingers and your toes.
Yeah, you worry
cross
about
everything.
that. Shoot.
Cross your leg. Cross everything. Get it. All right. Well, keep me posted on how that works out for you.
I will. Okay. I will. Yep.
Okay. So, what I'm going to show you next here, this is a video of an awesome persuasive talk. And it's by a gentleman by the name of Ron Finley. And what he does is he lives in South LA. And what he's done, he's taken over his community and all those vacant spaces in front of the homes and around the block and everything. He turned those into gardens. And he got the community involved in that and got grant money and everything else. And not only are they beautifying the neighborhood, but they're also planting healthier food, helping them to not only take back the neighborhood, but take back their health, you know, because like he says, you know, people eat what the heck's in front of them, and, you know, diabetes and high blood pressure and all those other things, you know, can be reversed really if they, you know, choose to eat healthier. Okay. So, and the reason why I like this video is because I think it clearly lays out the hook. It lays out the problem, the solution, the future, a visualization of the future, and a freaking strong call to action. One of the best call to actions I've ever seen.
Yeah.
So let's take a listen, and you can see an example of what this looks like. Okay. Okay. Got the screen up. Everyone can see the screen?
Yes.
Okay. Here we go.
I live in South Central. This is South Central. Liquor stores, fast food, vacant lots. So the city planners, they get together, they figure they're gonna change the name South Central to make it represent something else. So they change it to South Los Angeles. Like this is gonna fix what's really going wrong in the city. This is South Los Angeles. Liquor stores, fast food, vacant lots. Just like 26.5 million other Americans, I live in a food desert. South Central Los Angeles, home of the drive-through and the drive-by. Funny thing is, the drive-throughs are killing more people than the drive-by. People are dying from curable diseases in South Central Los Angeles. For instance, the obesity rate in my neighborhood is like 5 times higher than, say, Beverly Hills, which is like probably 8-10 miles away. I got tired of seeing this happen. And I wonder, how would you feel if you had no access to healthy food? If every time you walk out your door, you see the ill effects that the present food system have on your neighborhood. I see wheelchairs bought and sold like used cars. I see dialysis centers popping up like Starbucks. And I figured this has to stop. So I figured that the problem is the solution. Food is the problem and food is the solution. Plus, I got tired of driving 45 minutes round trip to get an apple that wasn't impregnated with pesticides. So what I did, I planted a food forest in front of my house. It's on a strip of land that we call a parkway. It's like 150 feet by like 10 feet. Thing is, it's owned by the city, but you have to maintain it. So I'm like, cool. I can do whatever the hell I want. Since it's my responsibility and I got to maintain it, this is how I decided to maintain it. So me and my group, LA Green Ground, we got together and we started planting my food forest, fruit trees, you know, the whole nine, vegetables. What we do, we're a pay-it-forward kind of group, where it's composed of like gardeners from all walks of life from all over the city, and it's completely volunteer, and everything we do is free. And the garden, it was beautiful. And then somebody complained. The city came down on me, and basically gave me a citation saying I had to remove my garden, which this citation would turn into a warrant. And I'm like, come on, really? A warrant for planting food on a piece of land that you could care less about? And I was like, cool, bring it. Because this time it wasn't coming up. So LA Times got hold of it. Steve Lopez did a story on it and talked to the councilman. And one of the Green Ground members, they put up a petition on change.org. And with 900 signatures, we were a success. We had a victory on our hands. My councilman even called and said how they endorse and love what we're doing. I mean, come on, why wouldn't they? LA leads the United States in vacant lots that the city actually owns. They own 26 square miles of vacant lots. That's 20 Central Parks. That's enough space to plant 700 million, 725 million tomato plants. Why in the hell would they not okay this? Growing one plant will give you 1,000, 10,000 seeds. When $1 worth of green beans will give you like $75 worth of produce. It's my gospel. I'm telling people, grow your own food. Growing your own food is like printing your own money. I have a legacy in South Central. I grew up there. I raised my sons there. And I refuse to be a part of this manufactured reality that was manufactured for me by some other people, and I'm manufacturing my own reality. See, I'm an artist. Gardening is my graffiti. I grow my art. Just like a graffiti artist, where they beautify walls, me, I beautify lawns, parkways. I use the garden soil like it's a piece of cloth. And the plants and the trees, that's my embellishment for that cloth. You'd be surprised what soil could do if you let it be your canvas. You just couldn't imagine how amazing a sunflower is, how it affects you. So what happened? I have witnessed my garden become a tool for the education, a tool for the transformation of my neighborhood. To change the community, you have to change the composition of the soil. We are the soil. You'd be surprised how kids are affected by this. Gardening is the most therapeutic and defiant act you can do, especially in the inner city. Plus you get strawberries. I remember this time, it was his mother and his daughter came. They were it was like 10:30 at night. They were in my yard, and I came out and they looked so ashamed. So I'm like, man, it made me feel bad that they were there. And I told them, you don't have to do this like that. This is on the street for a reason. It made me feel ashamed to see people that was this close to me that was hungry, and this only reinforced why I do this. And people ask me, "Fian, aren't you afraid people are gonna steal your food?" I'm like, hell no, I ain't afraid they're gonna steal it. That's why it's on the street. That's the whole idea. I take it, but in the same time, I want them to take back their health. There's another time when I put a garden in this homeless shelter in downtown Los Angeles. The guys, they helped me unload the truck. It was cool. They just shared the stories about how this affected them and how they used to plant with their mother and their grandmother, and it was just cool to see how this changed them instead it was only for that one moment. So Green Grounds has gone on to plant maybe like 20 gardens. We've had like 50 people come to our dig-ins and participate, and it's all volunteers. If kids grow kale, kids eat kale. If they grow tomatoes, they eat tomatoes. But when none of this is presented to them, if they're not shown how food affects the mind and the body, they blindly eat whatever the hell you put in front of them. I see young people and they want to work, but they're in this thing where they're caught up. I see kids of color and they just on this track that's designed for them that leads them to nowhere. So with gardening, I see an opportunity where we can train these kids to take over their communities, to have a sustainable life. And when we do this, who knows? We might produce the next George Washington Carver. But if we don't change the composition of the soil, we will never do this. Now this is one of my plans. This is what I want to do. I want to plant a whole block of gardens. Where people can share in the food in the same block. I want to take shipping containers and turn them into healthy cafes. And now don't get me wrong. I'm not talking about no free shit, because free is not sustainable. Funny thing about sustainability, you have to sustain it. What I'm talking about is putting people to work and getting kids off the street and letting them know the joy, the pride, and the honor in growing your own food. Opening farmers markets. So what I want to do here, we got to make this sexy. So I want us all to become evolutionary, renegades, gangsters, gangster gardeners. We got to we got to flip the script on what a gangster is. If you ain't a gardener, you ain't gangster. Get gangster with your shovel, okay? And let that be your weapon of choice. So basically, if you want to meet with me, if you want to meet, don't call me. If you want to sit around in cushy chairs and have meetings where you talk about doing some shit, If you want to meet with me, come to the garden with your shovel so we can plant some shit. Peace.
Mm-hmm. I'll park it right there, ladies. I love this video. And this gentleman, Ron Finley, I don't know, have you all ever heard of Masterclass? Mm-hmm. He's one of the speakers in the Masterclass now.
Oh, really?
Purchase that, yes.
Okay.
And yeah, because this is how impactful this thing was. But as I shared with you earlier, it touched on every one of the 5 blocks of the Monroe's motivated sequence. Mm-hmm. Now, I'm going to ask you a question. This isn't an I got you kind of thing or whatever, because all I want to do is just to ensure that you get it and that you have the structure. So when you structure your talk, you can do this thing in a kick butt kind of way. That being said, I'll ask both of you, the hook. What do you think was the hook? How did Mr. Ron Finley hook you?
mean, I know he talked about, he, you know, was basically opening up, talking about how, I'm just trying to, because he has so many different points in the beginning, leading up until, he has a lot of different points.
Okay, well, let me share this with you along the way. So his opening, when he opened, he talked about the name of his community, how, you know, South Central LA, right? And how the politicians sought to change the name of it to South LA to make it sound more sexy and, you know, clean and all of this here. But he said that it was just a name to make them feel good. He said because what? It had fast foods, vacant lots.
Yeah.
Right? And so that, you know, it really didn't do any good. But what he did was he hit the audience with a startling fact, but he also, it was a line of humor too, because people thought that was funny when he made the contrast.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. Next question. What do you think was the problem? The problem that Mr. Finley highlighted. I told you this before you even saw the video, what the problem was. Elizabeth, you can dive in here too.
I think
I don't know. You might be in the background. You might be in the background eating dinner, since I can't see you. But dive in this too.
The problem initially was the government trying to stop him from helping the community by planting a garden for free food.
Yeah,
and that was a problem there. And secondly, looking at the health of the people, the community, you know, obesity, diabetes, right? I'm sorry.
Okay, no.
And
right.
And all sorts of things. Their health problems anyway. That was a big problem for him, and that was a motivation for him too.
Right. Well, yeah, the problem was a solution, and the problem was involving blighted areas, but also areas in that particular community, South Los Angeles, that they did not have healthy food. It was a food desert, like pretty much all over the country in a lot of places, right? In many cities throughout the country, it was a food desert, you know. Okay, so what do you think? So this is the layup. What was the solution?
Did you ask me anything?
Well, this is for both of you, but you know, not all at once. You don't have to rush.
I mean, the solution was basically, to me, was to sustain, you know? I mean, he says to need sustainability, but you got to be able to sustain at the same time.
Yes, that was part of it. But also before the sustainability, you had to plant something that needed sustaining. That's where you planted the gardens.
Right.
So the solution was planting the gardens
to be able to sustain.
Right? And then also involving the community in the effort of planting the gardens, right?
Yeah, because that was the way that helped, especially the Black community, but I don't know, a whole Black community, but it's a mixed community, but to be able to help the community create jobs, you know, and
eat healthier.
Eat healthier, yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, yeah, because he made that contrast. You know, he showed wheelchairs with people who were disabled. He showed Davidica dialysis.
Yeah,
and he made the contrast. You know, he said they're popping up like Starbucks.
Yeah, I mean, it really is though. Like, if you think about it, it's all over DC too. I mean, it's everywhere. Especially that's what you pretty much in the Black community. When you see this is where you see it. You know,
where people did not have healthy food options, And
exactly. They don't
that's
have
the
healthy
big
food
problem.
options.
They don't have grocery stores in some of those places. He showed you the picture, vacant lots and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
So he's taking back this community. And so that got the community involved. It got the community sustaining. It got the community eating healthier. And it got them learning a skill in terms of gardening and things of that nature.
Yeah, that's true. You said learning the skill that hit that. That's right.
Yeah.
He made a lot of different points, you know?
Yeah. Well, one thing in there that really touched me was when he talked about going to places and working with some of the older folks who talked about when they planted gardens with their parents and things of that nature. Because I remember my father doing that. My dad did that. He and his mother, my grandmother, they did that. They planted gardens and things of that nature. And he actually brought, the fruits of his labor home, and that was all veggies. So it can work. So now he talked about the visualization and the future. So now what happens when you take back this community? You clean it up, you plant healthy food, people start eating healthy food, they learn skills, and they're working together, community working together of all races, colors, and everything, working together to sustain. What does that look like? What's the visualization? What's the future now? What happens now?
The future, that's basically, that's like a solution to the problems in the future. To keep working toward and creating, and like you said, just creating and introducing the skill. Just to keep evolving. That's what it is. Educating the community, a better way of living. Like if you start here, you can make it, we can grow into something even better and take care of ourselves better, so they can pass this down onto their children, take care of themselves as well, health-wise.
Okay, that is very true. And that's a good feeling. You're going to get healthier. When you drive home or get off the bus and you step onto your sidewalk, you see a beautiful thing that was once just dead grass with litter on it and everything. Now you walk and see a garden. You come over to the garden. You can actually pick a tomato or whatever and take it home and make, add it to your salad or whatever. It makes you feel good, not only visually, but internally, right?
Yes.
That's the visualization. That's the future.
Okay, right.
That's the picture that he painted. So here's the problem. If you do this, this is what happens. Now, the call to action. It's direct and to the point. What was the call to action? Ladies, I know it's about knocking on the door 8 o'clock. Y'all glucose level might be a little down because you're hungry. But what's the call to action, ladies?
What he said right here, that's on the screen.
Okay, there you go.
That's what it is.
All right, there you go. There you go. Direct and to the point. Okay, direct and to the point. He said, I don't want y'all to come around and sitting around hanging out in pushy chairs and having meetings and talk about doing this. I want you to get out here.
Just do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So now I want you to package that. You just walk through whatever your talk is going to be. And again, please pick something that you're passionate about. There's a lot of it. Okay. I don't care if it's police reform. I don't care if it's COVID. I don't care if it's sexual assault or you know what I mean. I'm just picking.
Yep. Don't come up with an example.
Don't pass out on me yet, Ms. West.
I'm sorry, no, I'm sorry. I've been up since like 5:30, so I'm so sorry.
That's all right.
It's not towards you, Professor Golden.
I'm in the street at 6 o'clock. I'm in the street at 6 o'clock in the morning, hit my 4 miles. So I'm in that. All right. So
I'm so sorry. I'm trying to stay. I was like, I'm here, but I'm just like, I've been up since 5:30.
See, you should have went and reloaded.
I did, and that's the thing. I drank a coffee before I left work so I could be
You hear-
up,
you hear
and
that-
then
you
I
hear
was
that,
sitting
Elizabeth?
down.
You hear that, Elizabeth?
Oh.
I don't blame you for not showing
Yeah.
your face now, Elizabeth, because you probably did the same thing.
Right.
Yeah.
So she got quiet. She probably.
I had to go drink coffee,
she
and
probably
when I
did
got
that
up,
dinner.
I
She
mean, when I
probably
got
did
off
the
of
dinner
work,
while we were talking.
yeah, I had to, and then I sat down. I took a shower, sat down on my bed. I put my lap desk on my lap, and that's how I got sleepy.
Oh.
And because I was trying to do my homework at the same time before I started my class, because I know I got to finish up this project tonight after we get up. That's why I was like, I knew I was gonna be so. And then I ate a snack too. So
Y'all
yeah.
like it, man. Y'all lightweights,
Yeah.
man. Y'all see, y'all back in the day, y'all would have been able to hang with me in the club. Y'all have been ready to go home by 9 o'clock.
Oh,
The party
yeah,
don't start at
definitely.
10, but y'all would have
Yep.
been ready to go home at 9 o'clock.
Yep. Yep.
I'm just picking on you.
Mhm. Yep.
Okay, so you kind of got the framework there.
Yeah.
All right. So I just wanted to just lay it out. I wanted to walk it with you, and that way now you have it. Okay. And you know what? Your yawning and your near passing out, all of this is recorded. So everybody can see this. You're gonna be like a internet sensation.
Oh my God.
You're gonna be a meme.
I'm so sorry, Professor Golden. My gosh.
I'm just messing with you.
Because I know when I get up, I gotta get up and do stuff. When I get off I know I have to do stuff tonight.
Okay. Now, this is due August 3rd. This is due August 3rd. Okay. So
Yeah.
it's like a couple weeks. Okay. But they go by fast, as you know.
Yep.
Yep. Okay. Now,
that's our final project, isn't it?
I was about to talk to you about that right now. Because
okay.
I'm not going to have another call, another virtual. I was going to do another one.
Yeah.
But I'll probably be on the road traveling by then.
Oh, okay.
I'm going on vacation next week. But my laptop's coming with me, you know,
right.
in a virtual world, so you still got to handle your business. But I'll probably be on the road that day. So I'm not going to make a promise I can't keep. So I want to talk to you real quick about your reflective paper, which is your final exam. Now, let me tell you something. You thought the elevator pitch was easy, Elizabeth. This is a freaking layup. Okay? I mean, really. Now, if you can't play basketball, then okay, it's a lob. You can volley in tennis. Okay? If you can't play tennis, then I don't know what to tell you. But all it's going to do is ask you a series of questions about what you learned in the class and how you plan to apply. And all you have to do is follow the rules, submit the paper in, and I'll read it, and you will get the grade. That's it.
Okay. Yeah.
Presentation applied. That's all you got to do.
Right.
That is due on Sunday, August the 8th.
Okay, so that's the final paper.
Yep. Reflective.
August due August, Sunday. Sunday, August 8th. Wait a minute.
The instructions are all in there, so it's really nothing for me to tell you. Just make sure that you do it and get it in, okay?
Okay.
Sunday, August the 8th by 11:59.
Okay. And then you said that's the project. That's the hold on. What the heck am I at? I'm all over the place on my notebook.
You need a piece of candy. Your glucose is low.
The 6 to 8 minutes. The 6 to 8 minutes is right. Look, the 6 to 8 minutes is the
persuasive presentation.
What we're talking about. Anything you said we're passionate about, talk about it, discuss it.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it. 6 to 8 minutes.
Follow the rules that I laid out.
Right.
Those things will show up at midnight tonight.
Okay. And then this is so reflective paper that's just the paper we don't have to do. So after this, tonight we have to turn in our informative presentation. And then on the 3rd, we got to turn in the our something we're passionate about on the 3rd. And then on the 8th, reflective paper, and that should be something that's not that difficult, and discussions. All I can say is that sometimes I don't have enough people to leave discussion responses to, because I don't see enough. Sometimes I'll be like, the only person on there. I'm like, well, I can't respond to 2 people. There's only one on there.
Well, then what? I'm gonna have to channel my old school thing. Sometimes when the music's playing and nobody get on the dance floor,
right?
You got to get on the dance floor,
right?
So that you got to jump the party off.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. So that's fine. And so I just wanted to make sure that you understand that. Okay? Get that in. So any questions or comments you have for me? I'm here right now. You got me.
Dr. Golden.
Yes.
I have some assignments which I missed, a lot of them. How do I make up for those?
I don't do makeup. Didn't you read my note? I do not do makeup. What did I tell you? I'm on vacation. Okay. Right. I am not grading into Christmas. I am not grading people's stuff with no drumstick from no turkey leg in my hand. I like both my hands when I eat.
Okay. I'll turn them in before you go.
Elizabeth.
Yes. Yes.
Get your informative presentation in. And please, this is an indirect question, so that means no one has to answer. But I'm going to ask you this. I hope that none of you have to record your informative presentation tonight. I hope that your informative presentations are already recorded. And you're just waiting for me to shut this thing down so you can upload this baby. I mean, post it. I hope. I'm gonna believe you. I'm gonna believe whatever you tell me.
Right.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
I am gonna walk away knowing that I'm gonna say Tay and Elizabeth. I'm old school, so I said Lisbeth, they got this thing already done.
Okay.
Because I don't know how much longer Tay got. I mean, she was like, somebody get that woman some coffee.
Okay.
I don't know what's going on back there with you, Elizabeth, because I can't see that. But I got a feeling.
She's lucky. She's lucky, Professor Golden, because I'm like, I'm over here trying to I'm looking at what you try to tell me. I'm trying to figure that stuff out right now, because I'm just trying to make sure I stay afloat, because I go on vacation next week also, and I'm off this weekend. So I gotta make sure I stay at the bank. That's why I try to get my homework in before it's due, at least, because I don't want to waste time, because hybrid is Tuesdays and Thursdays sometimes for people like me. I got Tuesdays and Thursdays. Tuesdays and Wednesdays.
You better take that laptop down to grandma's.
Oh, it's coming down there, because I told my dad, I was like, look, I can't mess with y'all. And it's so bad, because it's so bad too. When I leave next week,